9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Who is there? Who is there? Stand up and show yourself. Lachlan! Diawgianif! Inisco!
Maar me koet as to je heen, Alleyn.
Well, this is our land. Who taught me here?
It was on my mind that someone might steal your clothes.
There is no one between the Gary and the waters of Archaic who would do such a thing. And you know it as well as I do. Tell me the truth, or I will come out and throw you in.
I cannot shout it to you, Alleyn. It would be not lucky.
Do you think I will come out of the water to listen to you, then?
I will come in to you if you wish it.
Don't be a fool, Lachlan. Now, why are you lurking here like a beast of prey?
You will not be pleased, I'm thinking.
All the more reason to tell me quickly and hear my judgment. I want the truth, mind.
I am here because there is something in the loch that is unlucky. Something that will bring you ill fortune.
And what would that be? A water horse?
No, it is not a water horse. My father says
If
that...
it is a thing old Angus has said, it is a thing of the second sight. What was his vision? What was his vision? You cannot shoot a water horse, Lachlan. Not with a charge of small shot.
It is not a water horse. It is a heron. If I had silver, I would make a silver bullet.
A heron?
Listen, Alleyn. My father is much troubled. Last night, he had a seeing across the fire. He saw that a heron would bring about a meeting which would cause you grief.
And why should that bring you here with your gun?
You are my chief and my foster brother. I would put the hair of my head under your feet. I came here to save you from that grief. The heron in the loch!
Heilige Micheleata, Lachlan. Velu geistru.
You're fool mochie. Ach ne you're seen aram.
Lachlan, if old Angus is seen falsely, what good would it do to kill the heron? And if he is seen truly, do you think you can change my destiny with your fowling piece?
If it will bring grief to you, then I must try. It is not lucky to see a heron when you set out on a journey.
Nor a sheep, nor a pig, nor a rat, nor a woman, nor a man whose feet are flat. And what would live if we believed such tales? Promise to obey my wishes, Lachlan. Then you shall swear on the iron.
I would not swear on the iron for any other man alive.
There is no need for such an oath. Do as I have told you. You do not keep your dirk very clean.
Not clean?
It is blood, Lachlan. No. It was just a trick of the light on the steel.
I go have his Kikeline. Chilich to loche. Kanil ha kumel, ma honiksin na honiksin.
It is a good dirk, and too old a friend to throw away so easily. We are neither of us seers like your father, Lachlan. We are deceived by things that are present before our eyes. I will go and speak to him. If he has seen something that concerns me, I will hear it from his own lips. I forbid you to throw your dirk away, Lachlan, or to shoot the heron.
August the 16th, 1745. Captain Keith Windham of the Royal Scots, serving in a Scottish regiment, but having no love for the Scots. He has been sent to investigate the rumors of the arrival on British soil of Charles Edward Stuart, come to attempt to wrest the crown of Great Britain from the House of Hanover back to the Stuarts.
Dus er zit een heel. Na nie Lachlan je han.
Ewan, Johan. Valochlin je krijgt jum gevach kushalom je.
Gewoon roi des kjolne hen.
Inishko mi Ewan, ja, he.
Wichtig gellen. En sassen nog. Har grieger skee koloch ne hulde.
Miss Grant said you'd been speaking to old Angus.
Yes, Aunt Margaret.
Has he seen something? Something about the prince landing soon?
That would need no prophet.
Then it was about you.
It was.
Well, will you not tell us?
There is no sense in telling the visions of an old man. Ladies are so easily alarmed by such things.
Alarmed?
You see? Shall we eat?
Well, first, you must tell us what your prophet said. He told you something of your future. And since I've been led to believe that I will share that future, I have a right to know what he saw. Is that not so, Miss Cameron?
He saw that a heron would bring about the first of 5 meetings between myself and another man. The first and the last would be by water, and that we would do great services, each for the other.
That is not all, Ewan.
He saw that it would end in bitter grief for me.
The men are in a bad state of nerves, Captain Scot.
Ah, they're a sorry crew, Captain Windham. And the farther they get into this godforsaken country, the worse it'll be for them. The Highlanders have a name for theft and butchery, and it's playing on their imagination.
There's not a real soldier among them. They were all recruited last week. Thank God it's these Highland savages we're fighting, and not the French.
There'll be no real fighting here. If this rabble of ours can stay steady long enough to fire one volley, the Highlanders will run back to their caves and it'll be over.
I think that's just as well. I think our heroes are shaking too much to reload. A second volley should prove necessary.
Think that even now Lochiel will be signing our marriage contract, and you'll never be able to get away from me.
Oh, Ewan, will a contract make you so sure of me? If I were to change my mind now and tell you I would not wed you, would you hold me to a bit of paper?
But this bit of paper will be signed by Cameron of Lochiel. Do not expect me to allow a contract signed by my chief to be broken, surely.
I've a mind to refuse you to see what you would do.
I would carry you off.
And force me to marry you.
Indeed.
Are you not ashamed to say it, Ewan Cameron? That was the Cameron blood speaking for you. The blood of the Hieland Reavers.
Do you not Hieland yourself, Miss Grant? Did your clan never lift cattle?
Cattle? But I'm to be likened. By him I'm contracted to marry to a steer or a cow. I'll not be at the church. You may have your wedding without me.
You're not in earnest. I thought you were.
Of course I'm not. I think I shall spend all night in the kirk so that I shall not be late. And yet I think I have a rival, Ewan.
Never.
If you were to choose between me and this loch, would you choose me?
I think when I am dying, the last face I shall see in my mind will be your face. And the last place, this loch.
I hope I shall die the same day, in the same hour.
Neil McMartin.
Lochiel has sent this to you by a man on a horse.
It'll be our contract. There's no getting away from me now.
Is it bad news?
No. It's great news. The prince has landed at Borradale in Arisaig. Lochiel has asked me to go to Achnacarry at once.
And you will go with Lochiel to the prince and kiss his hand.
He says nothing of going to the prince. I feel something is troubling him.
Surely Lochiel will not hold back, Ewan?
Lochiel will do what is right and honorable. It is impossible for him ever to do otherwise, Alice. I must go now.
Achnacarry, seat of the chief of the mighty clan Cameron, home to the man who is judge, disciplinarian, protector of his clansmen, father in a patriarchal system which dates from feudal times, known by his surname and the territory he rules, Cameron of Lochiel.
Things are not as they were promised they would be, Ewan. The French were to send troops with the prince. He has landed with arms and only 7 men.
Then surely his need for us is the greater. We must join him.
It is not enough to fight, Ewan. There must be a chance of victory.
You think my brother is showing too much prudence, Ewan. But the man who risks his life and lands and the lives and lands of his clan on a stupid gamble is not fit to be a chief. Now, we had pledged to support the prince only if he came with French soldiers.
Then we will not rise.
Ewan, we will rise, but if we fail, Clan Cameron, I and the rest of Scotland will rue the day we did.
This is perfect country for an ambush. Would it not be advisable to send a couple of scouts on ahead?
2 scouts over the high bridge! At the devil!
A strange ambush when they warn us of it with this awful noise.
Now, this is damned awkward. Bridge is narrow and the current's too strong to ford it.
We must. The Royal Scots will be laughed to scorn if we give way to these cattle thieves.
Come back! We'll have no deserters and the Scots! You, back! And the rest of you, back to the ranks! One of us will have to ride back to Fort Augustus and bring help. Since I am in command and you have the fastest horse cart in Windham, I must ask you to go.
I'll go gladly. There'll be no fighting done today by this chicken-hearted rabble. Hey.
Surrender! Wait! I advise you to surrender, sir. I'm sorry to take advantage of an injured man, but I have my chief's orders, and you must be stopped. You are completely cut off, and you cannot help your men. They are already prisoners. And Captain Scot is at the moment in the custody of my chief, Cameron of Lochiel. If you will give up your sword, I'll be honored to take you into my custody.
The deuce you will. Who, pray, are you?
Ewan Cameron of Ardroy, second cousin to Lochiel.
Mr. Cameron. I'm charmed to find such pretty manners in such a barbarous land. However, if you or your dog here think you can have my sword merely for the asking, you're vastly mistaken. I am a soldier, sir, and I think I can trouble you if you come at me one at a time, or both together. Come, sir! You afraid of one man?
I know you are lame, and I see the blood on your face. Do not make me disable you further.
Oh, you are so considerate, Mr. Cameron. However, I'm not convinced you are capable of disabling me further. Rude though it may seem, I am not prepared to take your word for that. Kern! Will you come to me? Or must I put myself at a further disadvantage and come to you? I surrender, Mr. Cameron.
There is one thing I must ask you first, sir. It would be so easy to escape from us on horseback. I must ask you for your word of honor that you will not do so.
I give it.
Willingly?
Willingly.
mercy on us!
Forgive me if I sit.
Of course.
Thank you.
You must be hungry, Captain.
I'd be honored if you would eat. But first, Aunt Margaret, would you find some water and some bandages? Captain Windham has met with a bad fall.
Mr. Cameron has been kind enough to treat me as his guest. I am, of course, his prisoner. However, I will cause you no inconvenience. I have given my parole of honor not to escape.
You are English, sir.
I have that disability, madam.
Still, I'm sure you'll not choke over a Highland supper.
I shall be most grateful for it.
I'm glad you're home safely, Ewan.
We heard there was a fracas at the High Bridge.
There was. With a company from my regiment, the Royal Scots.
I think perhaps we should...
I think it's too late to spare my feelings now, Mr. Cameron. We were on our way to Fort William. And we came to the bridge, heavily defended. So I'm ashamed to say my raw recruits turned and ran. It would have been over much sooner if your men at the bridge had pursued us. You have much to learn about tactics, Mr. Cameron.
No doubt. They used an old tactic of moving about in the trees to pass themselves off as a greater number. When we questioned your men, we found an officer was missing. I was sent to find him, and that is how we come to have the pleasure of Captain Windham's company.
My absence was due solely to the fact that I had been sent for reinforcements.
No other explanation could ever occur to me.
How many men held that bridge against us, Mr. Cameron?
I believe not more than a dozen. 11 men and a piper. I hope you find your room comfortable.
Very comfortable, thank you. Oh, Mr. Cameron. I beg you not to be misled by your triumph today. All our soldiers are not raw recruits. You and your Highlanders cannot hope to defeat the entire army of the king.
You seem to think that the only Jacobites there are those in the Scottish Highlands.
No, I'm well aware that there are many in England who call themselves Jacobites. They too might have risen if the French had sent the troops they promised with your prince. There are no French with him. I would not count on English reinforcements if I were you.
And what would you have me do, Captain Windham? Refuse to fight unless our victory is guaranteed.
I'm sorry. You will oblige me by forgetting what I've just said.
I will remember it, for I think you meant well. I trust the fall from your horse will not show its effects in the morning.
You are not exercising the tact which is so noticeable a feature of your nature, Mr. Cameron. You are telling the simple truth. Actually, a bird rose suddenly and caused my horse to stumble.
Naturally, Captain Windham.
I'm no expert on these matters, but I'd say it was a heron.
A heron? A heron brought your horse down?
I dare say it is unusual, but it's true.
I don't doubt your words, sir, but yes, it is unusual.